Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Everyday October, where I am posting a new cruelty-free makeup video every single day in the month of October. Most of the month has gone at this point, but I would love it if you would subscribe down below because there's still a few days left. There is still time to catch up on the craziness that is Everyday October, but in today's video I am doing an eyeshadow palette bingo with potentially my favourite palette from the year so far. I am very, very excited to be playing with this palette some more. So this is the Bella Beauty Bar Dark Dreamscape palette. This is what it looks like inside. I have been using it all week, particularly this shade Parallel Dimension. I absolutely love it. So this video is going to be in collaboration with the lovely Cole, of course. So we post these videos at the same time. We completely randomise all of the shades in the palette, pick 5, or rather I'm picking 5. I've given Cole free rein to pick as many as she wishes because her creativity is just off the charts and I simply cannot compete. So I'm picking 5, she is picking as many as her heart desires, and we come up with a look. You watch my video, you watch her video, and you decide who wins. Last time it was me, I think. Honestly, I can't remember. We have done so many of these at this point. So, like I say, I'm going to be completely randomising all of the shades. I have already done a first impression, swatching, etc. And I am going to be doing, potentially next month at this point, I am going to be doing a 3 looks with video with this palette because I am so inspired by it. I'm so inspired by the colours and also the formulas. I'm just so excited to use it basically in every single video, but that would get incredibly boring. So let's go ahead and pick 5 shades because I just want all of them at all times, and I love doing an eyeshadow palette bingo because it takes that section, that thought process of choosing the colours, completely takes it out of my hands and makes me be more creative than I am really capable of. So I have put all of the shades into the Tiny Decisions app and let's pick 5. Let's see how this goes. So Prison World, great choice. A nice mid-toned purple matte. I will swatch these as I go so that I remember which one we have picked. So that was number 1. Shade number 2 is Wormhole. Another great choice, a really light, bright pastel blue. Honestly, it's only been a week since I filmed my first impression, and I know I use lots of the colours, but obviously can't remember which ones, so shade number 3 is Portal. Okay, so this is very, very similar to that first shade, Prison World. A little bit brighter and a little bit more pink. Also a matte. I would really, really appreciate a shimmer. So that's the colour story so far. I'm not mad, but I'd really, really like a light shimmer. What else, I don't know, but just one light shimmer, please, because they're beautiful in this palette. So shade number 4 is Night Terror. Now that sounds dark, doesn't it? Night Terror. No, Night Terror is the bright pink shimmer. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but very, very happy with that. And that's like shifty as well, and that's gonna tie in that blue. Okay, so I'm picking 5. Let's see how this is going to go. We have got Decay. Okay, I am not mad at this colour story at all. That's the dark grey matte. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but that's my colour story. Okay, I'm thrilled. Yes, these two are very, very similar. I could take either of those and be very, very happy still. I'm happy with this. Am I going to do just what I always do? And smoke something out darker on the lighter corner and that bright blue on the inner corner? Shimmer across the lid? Potentially. Let me zoom you in and we can figure something out. I'm going to try and do something a little bit different, but we all know I always do the same thing, so let's just try. Okay, so often when I do these videos, I literally do the same thing every single time. I do the darkest colour on the outer corner, something through the crease, the lightest colour on the inner corner, and I smoke something out under the eye. I'm going to try and be a little bit more Cole. I'm going to try and do something a little bit more creative and a little bit different. So I have stuck some sellotape across the outer corner of my eye, and I have already got the Beauty Bay eye primer in the shade 2. I have already got across the eyelid, and of course I've already got my brows on. So I'm going to start with a fairly big fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into, let's dip into this one, which was Portal. I'm going to take that shade on that fluffy brush, and I'm going to put this in the crease, but only take it sort of 2/3 of the way. So I'm going to put that blue through the crease on the inner part of the eye, which for me is different, okay? It's something a little bit different. So let's just build this shade up a little bit through the crease, and I'm gonna sort of take this out and take it over this tape that I've already got down out here. So that is just the Portal shade all the way through the crease. Beautiful, beautiful. Now let's take a much smaller brush. Let's go in with this one, teeny tiny, and I'll go in with that first purple, which is just slightly darker, just a hair darker. So taking that one on that more dense brush, and I'll keep that further down into the crease. Realistically, yes, I could have just done with one of these, and yes, I could have tried to pick a 6th shade, but honestly, it's already risky for me picking 5. I find it very hard to summon the creativity to do something different. Like, Cole just manages it every single time, and I'm like, oh, just do a smoky eye and something nice and bright and pastel on the inner corner. I know, but that's what I know, that's what I do, that's what I enjoy. But these two shades are very, very close. I could have ultimately just done with one of those, so I'll go back in with that first fluffier brush just to make sure it's smooth, and then let's take a slightly more dense brush, which actually I do believe is already stained, the colour that I'm going in with, so that's fine. I'm going to go into Wormhole, that bright pastel blue, and I love this shade. I have been using this as an inner corner so much, but I'm going to just pack that on right in that inner part of the crease and tap it over that purple to like blend the two together a little bit. So I have also taken that blue sort of up above the purple to sort of incorporate that under brow bone area. Just so you can see quite a lot of it, because honestly I love that bright baby blue. It's beautiful. So I'm going to take, now how do I want to do this? What my plan is that shimmer basically all over the lid. I might put a little bit more of one of the purples across the outer part, and then I'll use that grey, which was called Decay. I will use that as like a smoky wing, which again is quite different for me. So let me just add a little bit of, let's go with Prison World, that slightly darker purple, and I'll tap some of that on the outer corner of the lid, just so that that shimmer, which was Night Terror, that light pink shimmer, I want to keep that on the inner sort of half of the lid. I don't want that all the way out here, so I'll pack some of this matte darker purple shade there, and then that pink won't like be further out than that, you know? So I'm just going to take my finger and, oh, it's such a beautiful colour. Like, it really does shift to so many different colours. The Bella Beauty Bar multi-chrome shimmer formula is incredible. The matte formula is beautiful. It's incredible. It's so pigmented, so blendable. The pastels are bright. But there really is something so special about these more special shades. So taking this, and that eye primer is still a little tacky across the lid there. Tapping this out. Yeah, that shade is incredible. I'm sorry, Cole. I think I may have won this one. Honestly, I don't see how you could do a bad look with this palette, with an eyeshadow palette bingo. I was not worried. I was not worried. Honestly, even if I had picked all 5 shades being the duochromes, the multi-chromes, the shimmers, I wouldn't have been mad because they're incredible. Or if I'd picked all mattes, like I could have very, very clearly like picked all mattes. That also would have been a great option. I would not have been mad because they're beautiful. So let's just get these looking a little bit equal. Just a little bit. I don't strive for perfection because then I'll be disappointed. But I love that shimmer. That's almost got a like golden peachy reflect to it. That's incredible. So I'm going to go over with the brushes just to blend out the edges, but I don't want to disrupt what's on the lid because it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Oh, I love this palette. Honestly, I was about to say I don't see anything beating it, but Cosmic, I do have that coming. Whether you've already seen that review or whether this goes first, I don't know. I will be reviewing that as soon as it arrives, in case you are wondering. But yes, I will be getting that. That could be close. My favourite, or I think joint favourite last year, was Cosmic 'Tis the Season, which was their Christmas release from last year, and Blend Bunny, Robert Welsh, Divination. They were joint first for last year's favourite palette. Oh, it could be this one though, you know. It could be. It could be. It's not even like the end of the year yet, but I'm already thinking like that far ahead. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that blue just to blend over this top edge here into that shimmer, and then I'll figure out how I want to do this grey smoky liner. This is where the tape is really going to come in useful for a nice smoky liner. So I'm just going to take sort of a flat, dense brush. Am I? Yes, let's just try it. I'll take some of that Decay shade on the side of that brush and I will stamp that along the lash line and smoke it out, stamp it over where that tape is. Yeah, that's deepened it up a little bit. I feel like you can see I very nearly blinded myself then. It's a risky business, this. Yeah, you can see the difference between it being a little bit darker, a little bit more defined on this side versus that side. Okay, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, I am amazed at how symmetrical I have managed to make those wings. Yes, they're not perfect, I am not claiming that they are, but you know what? They are pretty close. I'm happy with that, and it's like a smudgy, not too perfect sort of a wing, which frankly is my favourite kind, because then I can claim that it's meant to look messy. Okay, it's meant to look messy. That's the vibe. I'm not trying to be perfect, okay? We can't all be perfect, we can't all be cold. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that shimmer, that pink shimmer, onto the lid, just to really, really intensify. Because there is nothing I like more than shimmer. I am a magpie. Absolutely I am. So let's really intensify that shimmer across the lid, and then honestly I think I'm happy. I have used every shade on the lid. This very, very rarely happens. I always have to hide something down under the eye. So let's take off the tape. You know what? Those wings are pretty close to being symmetrical, are they not? Pretty close. Not perfect. Not perfect at all, but pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead, clean up, because there's like colour under my eye that I don't necessarily want there currently. Clean up rest of the face, and then I do still think I want something nice and smoky under the eye. Probably honestly just one of the purples, and then I may intensify that blue right on the inner corner, but I will do everything else and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the rest of the face done. To catch you up, it is the Troublemaker Button Pusher Foundation. I've really been enjoying this. The MUA Beauty Balm, Bronze Beauty Balm, as the bronzer. I tried this for the first time and I actually really enjoyed it. This blush is the Polite Society Polite Pops Powder Blush Stick. I don't know why it's called a powder blush stick. It's a cream blush stick, and that is in the shade Malibu. That is the blush. The concealer was the MCO Beauty Brighten and Perfect. The lip is Colourpop So Juicy in Tease, slightly more brown tone, and the Milani lipstick in Lustful. So that is you all caught up. That is everything that I've got on my face. So first things first, I feel the need to absolutely pack more of that baby blue right onto the inner corner. So I'm just taking the same brush that I was using before, and let's really intensify that right on the very, very inner corner. I did mess up a little bit at this side where I was trying to be very careful and blend my concealer out, and I just made an absolute mess. So, story of my life, I do that all the time, so I'm just gonna neaten that up by packing so much of that baby blue right onto the inner corner there. I love it. I love this shade as an inner corner. I've been wearing it so much this week, like as I've been using this palette more, getting ready for work, etc. This has been my palette of choice, and I've been doing this blue on the inner corner or just one of the multi-chromes across the lid. Easy peasy, so, so beautiful. So let's add a bit more up here as well. Then let's take that same brush that I was using for the wing into the Decay shade, and I will just ever so lightly join that up on the lower lash line. Yeah, I like that. Let's take it right on the tip of that brush. Add that out there. Smoky, smoky. And then lastly, I will take that teeny tiny brush into, let's go into Portal, that slightly brighter purple, this one here, and tap it off because I don't want any fallout now run that along the rest of the under eye. I love how this has turned out. I actually just sent Cole a voice note, or it was a sneaky video that I put in black and white so she couldn't see what my look was, saying there's no point in her posting hers. I've won. I know it. I know it. You can't beat this. You can't improve on perfection. I love this look. I love it. It's slightly different for me. It's not what I would usually do. I didn't use a liquid liner, so it's different for me, okay? It's out of my comfort zone, but I love it. I love it, honestly. Like I said, I don't think that you could get a bad eyeshadow palette bingo with this palette because it's just incredible. I'm going to just run that Portal shade lightly, really, really lightly under the underside of that grey wing, just to brighten it up a bit, because I'm not really a fan of grey. I mean, I'll use it if the bingo gods tell me to, and I'm happy with it in this situation, but I like a bit more colour, so smoke that out a bit under that wing, and I think I'm happy. I think that I am happy with how this is looking. I do love it. So I'm just going to add a bit of mascara. This is the Profusion Dream Big Lengthening and Volumizing Mascara. So I'm going to add a bit of this. I'm going to get rid of the hair that's attached to me, and then we're done. I'm thrilled. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. There we go. I love it. I love how this has turned out. Yeah, I would have loved any look with this palette, honestly. I would have loved any look. As long as I got a pastel and a shimmer, I would have been so happy with any colour combination. If you have this palette, if you have any palette that you love, I highly, highly recommend. Download, what is it, Tiny Decisions? Is that what it's called? Something like that. It looks like this. Yes, Tiny Decisions. Download it, input all of your shades and randomise it. Pick as many as you're comfortable with. I know that Cole will have picked like 7 or 8. She will have picked so many. And her look will be incredible. I do not doubt it. But can you beat this? I just love it. I need to blend this a little bit better, but I love it. I don't see how Cole could have won. But let me know. Go and watch hers. I will leave it linked down below. Let me know who do you think has won. Because I love it. I love it. I need to stop saying I love it. You get the idea. So I would love to hear what you think of the look. I would love to hear if you have this palette. What do you think of it? What do you think of the look? What colour combinations are you enjoying out of the palette? What would you have done with these 5 shades? Because honestly, there were so many different ways that I could have gone, and I would have loved every single one of them. So let me know down below. I have nothing else left to film today, which is a terrible shame when I've got a good makeup day. I'll have to think of something to film. Oh, I can do my autumnal makeup, autumnal eyeshadow palettes. That's what I'll do. See, just thought of something. So this eyeshadow look is not going to be wasted. You will be seeing this tomorrow, the day after, potentially. You'll see it soon. I will be doing, now I'm going to have to think of all of the autumnal eyeshadow palettes that I'm loving. Oh, there's just too many. There's just too many. I will go off and figure that out, and I will see you tomorrow for another Everyday October video. I've enjoyed this one. I've had a lot of fun. I hope that you have as well. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with little old me. But until next time, until tomorrow, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.